take those steps. Be on your way. Take those steps. When you have a dream, you gotta start. It's the only way. If you're gonna shine, and you're gonna shine, shine, shine. You're gonna shine. And we are shining bright here on the ranch. As you know, the ranch, we come on every Monday, 7 Eastern. That's New York time. And we are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. It's where all indie artists want to be because you can showcase your music, network. There's a lot of opportunities there. So something you should definitely check out. And I have a great new banner these days. That's Max Advertising. And I got their email address. Really good to indie artists. Tell them Randie sent you, and they're going to love you, and they're going to take care of you. They do a lot more than banners. They do all kinds of stuff. So, and Hotel Universe does a lot of video. And that's, if you want to see us on Roku, a TV show, that's where you're going to find us. So as you know, we are going across 7 platforms and Roku to showcase the best in kind of Americana artists. And I'm trying to prove that there are pockets of great Americana music all over the world. And tonight, we're shining bright in the United States right now, but right now in the UK, it's pitch black, it's midnight, and I give my artists a lot of credit for putting the kettle on and staying awake for us. We have Dave Eastman from the Open Flames. Hello, everyone say hello. It's a big round of applause.
Hey.
Oh, round of applause. Get it? Okay.
Is that an appropriate Americana opening to say hey?
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all. How you doing?
Thank you for staying awake.
Yeah, I don't know that I put on the kettle. I think I opened the bottle of scotch. That was how I kept myself
That
awake.
would put me asleep. I can't do that anymore. Not like I used to, man. Now, like a drink or two, and I'm like, I can only like, whatever is working.
Drink the good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, he's hitting the good stuff too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, tell us about Americana music in the UK. Where exactly in the UK are you?
I'm in London. I'm American, and I'm also a UK citizen now. I've been here 11 years, and they love it when you put on a cowboy hat, which I always feel a bit, weird about, because I definitely don't deserve to wear a cowboy hat. I lived in Utah, and I know what real cowboys are, and I don't think I could castrate a horse, with a power drill. So, yeah. So we.
That's not a bad thing, Dave. That's not a bad thing that you can't do that. No.
Okay. That's not
That's not bad that you can't do that.
I really saw him do it. So I was in Utah, and the wild Mustangs that were in the national park, they would herd them into a corral, and one at a time they got a power drill with like a bola. I don't know if you've ever seen this, that went whip, 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 whip around the area in question and pop it off.
Ow!
No.
Oh, that's awful. I guess it's I guess it's necessary to keep the population under control, the wild horses.
Yeah.
So I get the need for it, but I know my sister has a farm, and I know what farm life is really like, and I know that the city people are too far removed from the food to really appreciate it. They're horrified by meat packing and things like that, but you need to go out to a farm. There's a reality of getting us food.
Yeah. Yeah. The steaks come from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't
So
know.
anyway, so yeah, London Americana. So there's an appetite for it. I think it's a small audience, but they actually have a huge country festival in an arena every year. Shania Twain played, and various people play that come over. I think it's a little bit like how the NFL comes over and plays some exhibition shows.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
love it. And there's some artists that I don't think are so famous in America, like Tom Van Zant, who's passed away. Um, uh, I always introduce them to Merle Haggard and Waylon Jennings and stuff. I think they've heard more of maybe Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash. Everybody loves Johnny Cash. So
Right. I just saw Willie Nelson
really,
2 weeks ago. He does the Outlaw Festival, and I was at
wow,
Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. 91 years old. He was the
yeah,
headliner. He
wow.
he can't seem to sing and play at the same time anymore. He sings, he strums a little bit, and then he does a signal, and then I think his son takes over.
Oh well, yeah. I saw him in
So,
L.A. I saw him in L.A. with Willie Nelson and family, and he started singing "Maybe I Never Told You," and it was this real quiet, emotional moment. And this woman behind it starts going, "I love you, Willie! I love you!" Just screeching, and he kept trying to sing through it, and you could just see him wincing, from this woman just missing the point. Yeah, he signed
right.
my cell phone. Actually, my wife went up and handed him my cell phone, and he signed it. And we put masking tape over it so that Scotch tape over it so that you could see the signature.
Oh, that's great. That was a smart thing to do.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I have that phone somewhere.
Hang it up on the wall.
Uh huh.
Can you frame your phone?
Frame your phone. That's what we've come to these days. Framing your phone. Yeah.
Right. Right. So what made you move to London?
My wife's Italian, and first we moved to Switzerland to be close to her family. And then Switzerland's really boring. Um, it's beautiful, but I say it's always like having an absolutely beautiful girlfriend, but you just can't figure out why you can't stand her. And that's what living in Switzerland was like. Yeah, it's just boring and awful. So we moved to London, and about 11 years ago. And also, I do international aid work. So it's being in London is a great place to be close to, Africa, the Mid East, Afghanistan, all these places. It's a much shorter flight than from America.
Right. Right. That's interesting. I guess Swiss doesn't have a big their music scene's more of a pop scene. The Swiss.
I don't know that I'd call it really anything. Yeah, yeah. It's not an entertainment center. It's good if you like quiet. You know that you can't recycle on Sundays. It's just
You can't recycle?
you can't use the toilet after 10 p.m. You can't recycle on Sundays. We had a neighbor bang through our door in his underpants on a weekend because our vacuum cleaner was too loud, and he was furious. So yeah, good place to be quiet. I think F. Scott Fitzgerald said, "Not many things start in Switzerland, but a lot of things end there." I think that's about right.
Yeah. That whole bathroom situation. They can actually
Yeah, it's awkward.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
No
goodness.
toilet. Yeah.
I know there's a lot of different customs and traditions. I've traveled a lot, but those I
Yeah.
have not heard of, but I haven't been up to Switzerland yet.
Okay. Just stay away from the toilet after 10.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Do they go to
Did
sleep
you travel
early?
for music or?
I traveled I was in London twice for last time for the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
So, and then Rio down in I was there for the Olympics. And then there were just different cities that I visited. The next time I go, I'm bringing my guitar. So
Yeah, you should.
sure. For sure. Maybe a cowgirl hat, my cowboy boots.
Oh yeah. No, you'll be big. Yeah.
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 That's interesting. How our culture kind of seeps in.
Yeah, but it's easy to think that the Brits are like the Americans, but underneath it is a very different culture. A lot of their humor is about being embarrassed and being shy, because British people are very careful not to show their emotions, or they get embarrassed really easily. Um, and the worst thing you can do, I got my driver's license, and the worst thing you can do is to cause inconvenience to another driver. That's when you fail your test. So,
really?
yeah, causing inconvenience to someone else is pretty much the worst thing you can do as a British person.
I know they're serious about their taxis. Their taxi test is hardcore. You have to have the entire city mapped.
Yeah.
Memorize all the streets. You have to take the shortest distance. You have to, I don't know if they still do that with GPSs nowadays, but they wanted people getting around and not ripped off and, getting where they needed to go.
Yeah.
So I love British tea. At 3:00, I stop my world and I have either some scones or some biscuits and tea, and the world stops and I do my mindfulness. And I just think it's like,
it's the perfect mix of like dense, heavy bread, heavy cream and sugar, and caffeine. It's like it's all the unnatural effects on your brain too.
Although I make my own tea, I went decaf a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
So
that would not go here. No decaf.
I know. It's actually hard to find, which is why I started making it.
Yeah.
And I had some allergies too. I just had to start making it myself. And
no, a nice cup of tea. That's always
nice cupper.
Make anyone happy.
Yeah.
Nice.
The world is better. When you have and I watch a lot of Brit TV, and I gotta tell you, if TV is any indication, tea makes everything better. Like somebody dies, and we're gonna make them a cup of tea.
Yeah. No. It's imperative. I mean, and it doesn't matter how burly and manly you are. Sitting down with a nice cup of tea. That's I don't know if they do the pinky, but yeah.
I don't see the pinky anymore.
No.
Especially with the guys in Midsummer Murders, they never show pinkies.
Although probably a murderer would probably do the pinky thing, in some weird way, like in a creepy, polite way. Yeah. I don't think murderers always must have some kind of tell. So if you're having tea with someone and they do the pinky, you should probably leave.
All right, sign of a sociopath. There, do the pinky.
Yeah.
It's a red flag. Guys, there.
Yeah.
Now you
did either that or the lace curtains.
You just say you're an international aid worker, and listening to your music, that it seems to show up. And I've noticed that I said this before, that with European music, even with the Americana, there is kind of a more in-your-face hitting controversy kind of head on.
Yeah.
I think more so than even in the United States, where we kind of, sugarcoat. We don't want to get thrown off Facebook or YouTube or, anything like that. So everything's kind of toned down a little bit. And I don't see that in a lot of European music.
I think especially in England, there's a tradition, going back to Shakespeare, of being really good at talking and being clever with words, but talking about something quite serious on many levels. So I think I've probably been influenced by that, being around, nothing is said directly, as I said, in this culture. So I think that influenced me. But of course, I love Bob Dylan. I love Bruce Springsteen, especially the Nebraska album where he tells these stories. So I think it's probably a mix between American folk storytelling and probably this kind of influence of telling things in a crafty way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the first song that we're going to go to is straight up an Americana country song. Hit the top. Yeah. Hit the top before you hit the bottom. Is that?
Yeah.
Where'd that come from? Where'd that come from?
So it's from the perspective of a bottle of vodka looking up from the table at you, saying, when you're feeling down, I'll always be here, ready for you, because you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. And so I guess at the time I was drinking a lot of vodka, so I guess I imagined the bottle talking to me. I don't know.
So now you're doing better. You've switched to whiskey.
Yeah, well, I have more money now. So, well, I was living in the Soviet Union, where you're not going to find good scotch in the Soviet Union unless you're, Putin or something. So vodka was just down the corner all the time. So that's the story behind the song. And the song was recorded with my previous band, Say Yes, Do Nothing. I'm kind of on hiatus with them, with a great guitar player. You'll hear his solo in the beginning. His name is Dan. He's actually from Wales, but he loves American guitar playing. He just went to Nashville and he just loved it. So you'll hear that in his playing.
Is there any Americana? Is there any country in Russia?
No, but they do have a really strong folk tradition. There's one guy named Vysotsky who was kind of during the Soviet Union, like the 60s, 70s, was kind of the Bob Dylan of their time. And if you look up Vysotsky, you won't understand a word he's saying, obviously, but it sounds like they recorded it in a kitchen next to a bottle of vodka by the stove. But he was just loved, and you don't even know what he's singing about, but you can tell he's singing a story, and and he has this gravelly. So I think that they do have very much a folk tradition. I think probably also out of nationalism. But yeah, Vysotsky, I would absolutely recommend listening to him. Just for the sonic raw.
I know him, and I'm trying
really cool.
I'm trying to. Was there a movie or something that his music was featured, and you don't know what he's saying?
Maybe.
But and it's this, yeah,
yeah, you don't have to know. It's just amazing. It's such force. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this was I can only listen to it for about 20 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. It's like,
Yeah,
it's like standing in a
without even knowing the words, you want to it's like you want to split a vein or something. Like, it's just intense.
Yeah, and you want to be him for about 20 minutes, and then you think, well, it's like standing in an ice storm. Like, I got it, But I love his music. There's another one, another guy. I was in Kazakhstan, and they're a lead singer of a band called Kino, Kino, and he had more of kind of a I would say kind of Joy Division, mellow sound, but his voice also is very emotive. So I think it's kind of the 80s version of that storytelling tradition for Soviet Union. Kino.
Well, let's get a sense of your storytelling tradition. Let's listen to Hit the Top.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Cause before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. No, you ain't no philosopher, although you wonder what it's all for, when you know you won't break ground until you're buried. You're like a shark that never drowns, because you're always swimming on, and everything you'll ever have will be temporary. Because you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. You'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom before you see the top. Yeah, you'll hit the top before you see the bottom, but you'll hit the bottom.
And we are back on the ranch. Ranch is brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. Great stop. You can start an account, all indie artists. Put your music up there. You get to keep all the money for all your plays and be added to playlists. A great spot for independent music. Again, so we are across 7 platforms. This is interactive. I know we have some people coming in and out right now. So if you're there, let us know where you're watching from. I don't always see Facebook people, but I can see their posts. So if you have any comments, we are with Dave Eastman of the Open Flames tonight, and we are across the pond in London tonight. And
In the dark.
I got to tell you, Dave, I got a kick out of that video. How did you get these people to dance around a front yard?
I didn't. I'm glad you liked it. I think it's hilarious. So I actually Googled Russian fighting, and somebody had made this home video of these 2 old drunks, and then added these Street Fighter effects. And so I thought that's just perfect. So I edited it to fit the song.
Oh, it's hysterical. Like watching people.
I mean, they're really drunk. They're not acting.
Yeah, I was wondering how you pulled that off, for real. If you're guys, we're gonna do a video, have some vodka, and go have at it in the front yard. Like,
maybe I should have. I mean, I don't know. When you download stuff, when you work with stuff off YouTube, I don't know what the rights are, and I probably shouldn't say that now. But yeah, cheaper than making your own video, I guess.
I love making video. I have a blast.
I do too.
I really do. And I find people will jump in front of a camera and do weird things that you ask them to do. It's really funny.
Yeah.
So I love that video. It's just YouTube. Now we're in election year, and they really clamp down on a lot of things. So a lot of things get flagged. Like my show, every week I have to dispute it, my copyrights. It's like my song Shine. I played every single Monday, and they have a copyright claim against it every week. And I'm like,
and it's your song.
It's my song. So yeah, I understand people can't rip off people, or at least give them credit for what they're doing. You should give
Well,
those young
it's nice that
people-
they're fighting over your music, right? I mean, that's that must mean something.
Yeah, fight for my rights. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But when it's me,
Fight for your right to YouTube.
yeah, you gotta fight for your right.
I don't know. Can we say that? Now we can't.
Am I
can we
gonna
say
get
that?
copyrighted now because I just
I don't know.
use quiet rights?
I didn't
but
finish it. 'cause I
gotta
don't
fight
wanna
for the
blow this-
right to party.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes again. I'll be flagged again
Yeah.
twice.
We ruined the show.
Won't be the first time. That's for
Mm.
sure.
Yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
forge ahead, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, the next song that's coming up is Drop a Coin, but you said that one's not up on YouTube?
Not yet.
Not
So
yet.
this is going to be the Open Flames' new single in late September. So I thought I'd give you a sneak preview of the song,
Oh,
and it'll be released on
stole
Spotify.
my
and
heart.
whatnot. I know. Well, you truly, this is actually a world premiere of the video. I know, on the ranch. I
on
mean,
Ranch,
it's only
right
fitting.
here.
Yeah. And so this also, I stole the footage from YouTube. I don't know if I should say that either. And
Oh, I'm like so doomed with my copyright.
you are.
Like,
This is going to be the last episode of the ranch
I-
with Randie and you.
I will say though, I have won every single dispute except for one. I was with D-Ray and we did a comparison of the Dolly Parton's Jolene and Beyonce's Jolene. Dolly Parton let it go.
Oh,
Beyonce's crew squished me like a bug, and blocked the footage.
Wow. Well, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, even though it was a review and you were allowed to review material because you're giving full
Right.
credit to the person.
Yeah.
So it should have gone. But
Yeah.
Beyonce, like, woo, like but
Wow. It's not even her song.
well, have you heard the new
Do I want to?
one? I did it, and we really tore. You should go back and watch that episode. Is what you should do because we
Okay.
tore it apart. We told why is this Americana? Is Beyonce's Americana?
Yeah.
When where did the story go? Because she really made some major edits to the song.
Mm,
So
why? It's a
and Dolly
perfect
was
song.
totally okay with it because she gets credit every time it plays. So what does she care?
Sure. Yeah.
But it's a question. There were like Americana elements or country elements in it. And a song doesn't have to be country, but she redid a country song. So anyway, I don't want to talk
definitely.
about it. I want to talk about your music.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your music. We have a world premiere here. Talk to me about Drop a Coin because I love the beginning. You don't
Oh,
shy
thank you.
away from stuff. It's right there. So
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to offend a good part of your audience.
well, if the opening ceremonies in Paris offended people, then
Yeah.
it might.
I think margarine offends some people, so I mean, you can't tell. Not to pick on margarine, I mean, it's great.
It's not
So
great.
this song,
It's horrible.
it was inspired by the suicide of Ian Curtis of Joy Division, but also at the same time, the idea. I had a girlfriend when I was in junior high, and I'd go up to her door and knock on the door, and that moment when you're waiting for the dad to open the door, that moment of kind of anticipation, of nervousness. But then this song is also in that same way, is about maybe you're knocking on the door of the wedding chapel and you're passing through the door. So it's this moment, it's trying to describe this moment of when you're just about to transition into something really big. And it starts off with a blind little girl sits at the gates of hell, drop a coin into her cup and she will wish you well. So that moment where you're about to pass into the gates of hell.
It was hell. It didn't look like hell to me.
You didn't watch the whole video then?
Okay, yeah. did, because to me it looked
You'll
like
see it. You'll get it. You'll get it.
I'll
by the
get
end.
it. All right, we have to watch this because there was something I missed. Okay, here we
Yeah. And goodbye to half the viewers.
go. No, stay with us. This is good stuff.
A blind little girl sits at the gates of hell. Drop a coin into a cup, and she will wish you well. And then it's so still, when there's nothing more to say. She can't see you go, but you know that you can stay. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba. Fix your necktie just once more to make sure you won't get turned away when that key turns in that door. And then it's so still, when there's not much more to say. She can't see you go, but you know that you can stay. Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba. Step into the light, lay your dust. You don't hear a sound except the singing of a choir.
Okay, we are back on the ranch. We are sponsored by Blast Music 24/7. It's that one stop for all indie artists. You guys should check it out. And we are here with Dave Eastman of the Open Flames across the pond. He's in London, originally American, but now he's living in Europe. The strong European influences, I have to say. You're well traveled, and I see that in your music, especially the video. So going back to the video, but the girl, to me, she had wings and went up to heaven, and the rest of them didn't make it through the gates. That's what I got. I'm wrong. Am I wrong? They're all
you could never be wrong.
Well, that's the first time I heard a guy say that, but to me, but anyway. In your interpretation, they all burned.
So I think I was in Afghanistan when I made this. So I think this might have been, I made it in one night, the video part. I think it was probably in some kind of subversive, angry response to what I was seeing from the Taliban. So
well, there you go.
But
the
I think it's
Taliban
probably
and
also
vodka. What
about,
else do you need?
yeah, I mean, you get a little pent up after a couple weeks. And I think also I think doubly though, I think it's also about social media. So I think that moment when they're all, so excited they're going to meet the savior.
Right.
The looks on their faces, to me, it's almost about them than about them seeing him. Like, oh, look at me. I get to see, And so I think that's, to me, why he casts them down, because I think he says, no, it's not about you. So that's my interpretation.
So people are self-absorbed, caught up in their own drama, and not looking out for each other, and not and the savior, and
demanding to be interviewed online on the ranch. Yeah,
that should get you wings.
Hopefully.
I hope so. I could see that happening.
Would you like to hear our second single? I can play it for you on the guitar. It might bring back the Americana viewers. It's a bit more Americana.
Okay.
Can you hear it? Can you hear the guitar okay?
Break up a little bit, I guess because of the overseas connection, but hopefully we'll get it.
Does that sound all right?
Let me hear the guitar.
Not going to work?
I don't hear the guitar at all.
No, not going to work, huh? That's too bad.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. When we bring you back, when things are rolling,
okay,
it comes out, we'll come on early and set all of that up.
Yeah.
So just a matter of a click here and a click there for stuff. And we can get it live. So
yeah, so that song I recorded. So the Open Flames has some history to it. It's the drummer was the drummer of the band Harvey Danger, which ba 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 ba. I'm da 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 da. Yeah. So I went to high school with him, and then he had this crazy hit, and I didn't know because I was in the Peace Corps. And when I got back from the Peace Corps that night, I was watching TV with my parents. I'd been away for 2 years, no whatever. And the TV's on, and there's my friend on inside the television playing, and on David Letterman. And my brain, because I was jet lagged, I actually for a moment thought, oh wow, what a surprise! My parents brought my friend to sit inside the TV, but no, he was on David Letterman. So so he had this massive hit, and so we got back together during COVID and recorded a bunch of stuff. And then about a year ago, we recorded that song and the album that we're going to put out. So it's his wife, his partner, from London. So we recorded that, and the album is called Same Time Next Year, because we get together about every 6 months and record about 3 or 4 more songs. So that's how we built up the album.
Oh, that's great. That's fun that you have that musical connection.
Yeah.
And unless you're a musician and are in a band and you connect with other musicians, you don't understand how strong that really is.
Yeah. It's intense.
Yeah. It's like you're tethered somehow with this common experience.
Yeah. And connecting in a way that you just can't do through conversation, or I think the closest is by joking around with someone. When you both laugh at something, it kind of feels a little bit like that.
Oh, that's really a good analogy.
Yeah.
You share that common moment, that common.
Yeah.
That's
where you connect or you find someone, a stranger with the same sense of humor, you know, and like,
yeah, you
I
get
like
it.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. That's really good stuff. So
Thank
your
you.
last song we got here is "Falling Up."
Yeah.
Was that is that the same group, Open Flames?
That's
Does
the Open Flames.
does that mean anything, Open Flames? Is that symbolic of something?
So the drummer, Evan, he thought of that name and I thought it was cool. Um, so my friends here though in London, they all said it sounded like a kebab shop, you know, so or a barbecue place. So maybe it's risky, but yeah, no, there's no particular name behind it,
Okay.
meaning behind it.
Okay. So tell us about "Falling Up."
So this video is footage. I think that's around that same day in Afghanistan, where I was visiting sites where we had done aid work and meeting with people. And so I surreptitiously held my phone by the window of the car as we were driving along and took this footage and then edited it to the song. The song itself is inspired when I do flights in small planes through dust clouds and over mountains and stuff. I always think that Radiohead is the best thing to listen to when you think the plane might crash. Like that slow, heavy Radiohead would be very, very good as the plane goes down, I think. And so
God.
so when I thought about that, I wrote the lyrics to the song, which is asking someone who was in a plane crash, you know, what were their last thoughts? What were their last actions?
Oh my goodness. That's intense.
Sorry.
I was in one plane like that. I was going over to Little Cayman that was doing some diving. And from Big Cayman to Little Caymans, you were on this puddle jumper.
Yeah.
It's got half an engine. They're like, okay, you can't take this luggage with you. We'll bring it over later, you know, type stuff.
Yeah.
And the plane's older than dirt. And you are
Yeah.
literally like, have those thoughts of, you know,
Yeah, you might not make it.
what am I maybe listen to what's going to be going on?
Yeah.
Last
Yeah. You gotta pick the right song. You know,
and you've been in some hairy situations, it sounds like.
Yeah. So they're small planes. When I was in Sudan, I mean, you fly around dust clouds, you know. But I'm going to South Sudan next week, where we were going to take a flight to a town, but most recently the plane's wheels came off 2 days ago, and another plane crashed. So we're full of aid supplies. So I think I'm going to be walking or taking a bike anywhere I go.
Their trains aren't any safer either.
They'd probably go in the mud. I don't think they would get very far in South Sudan. It's pretty much a big swamp. But yeah. So yeah, small planes. So that's what this song's about.
Okay, let's hear it. Falling Up.
Falling up.
And we were getting psychedelic on the ranch. Here, we are sponsored by Blast Music 24/7, one stop for all indie artists. And again, trying to help out and support other indie artists. And we are across the pond tonight in London with Dave Eastman, with 2 premieres now that have not been released, which I feel also honored that you see it first here. They're just so interesting. The last one, Falling Up, with actual footage with a lot of effects, so like a little bit overexposed.
Yeah.
It's just really cool.
Thank you. It's amazing what you can do with Microsoft Clipchamp.
I'm like useless. I can edit. I just don't have the patience for it. Like,
I was a film student in college, so I really enjoy it.
and it sees, I mean, what's happening in Drop a Coin. What you stole though for Hit the Top?
Yeah. So, well, you know, I think it's interesting to take something that someone else did and rearrange it. I mean, that clearly was not the original video for Drop a Coin. That was a video. It was a proselytizing video, I think, for illiterate audiences in India. And I basically kind of flipped it on its head through the Drop a Coin editing.
Yeah, there's an art to that. There's definitely an art to that.
I think that's kind of interesting to take something and twist it a bit.
Right. Some people do that with music. I mean, you know, adding, you know, bits and pieces of other people's songs and putting it into theirs, and having really new, which could be interesting.
Yeah. So, editing is great.
Yeah. I mean, it's come so far. It's so much. It is a lot more user friendly than years ago.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, you don't have to snip anything. I mean, you know, you don't have to cut and glue, or, you know, it's amazing what you can do. I mean,
I was actually taught on A/B rolling edit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I actually did a stint editing wedding videos for a friend. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't take it. As much as I needed the money, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I put one footage where it shouldn't be, and he was like freaking out. And I'm like,
oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's about as high pressure as it gets. I think a wedding video, like, you cannot mess up.
You can't. My own stuff, you know, there are the flaws, rip it apart.
Yeah.
That's great. Have at it. You know, wedding, no, you don't play with brides. Like,
no.
They have.
So they're gonna watch it. Yeah.
And they're gonna expect
their mother's gonna
watch it, and, you know, over and over. No. There's a bride out there from 20 years ago that still has, probably longer than that, still has one of my videos I edited.
Well, maybe not if they didn't like it. If the foot.
I know. I mean,
I mean, you're assuming that they're still married.
That's true.
Also,
what are the odds? It's not good. The odds are not good that they're still together.
It might have been in the bonfire.
Yeah. That's probably the first
Did they
thing
look happy in the video?
The badly edited wedding video. There it is. Bang, we're
badly edited video.
It's going. All right, we have a couple minutes. I know we have a couple minutes left. So what's next for the Open Flames? Where can we find you? Where are you going to be?
Well, we are hoping to do a gig in New York City in mid-October. We're aiming for October 19th in New York. The venue hasn't been decided yet. The first single, that Drop a Coin, will be released September 29, and the album soon after. And if you want to get a sneak preview, I can tell you that you can go to the website, theopenflames.com, go to album preview, and enter our band name, and you can hear the whole album as a sneak preview.
Oh, that's amazing.
I didn't tell you, but
I'm definitely gonna check it out. Open Flames.
I think you should. I mean, it's a little bit like your own dog or your kid. I mean, you think they're great, but I actually, for me, this is a bit more like a meal that you make for someone. You're like, I think you should try this. I like it. So
Yeah.
see what you think.
Well, and you want to get it out there,
Yeah.
and you know, your stuff is going to have a reaction. The worst thing you can. This is what I was told. I always wanted somebody said something about my song, and it was like, oh, they intensely didn't like it or something. And my producer's like, that's great. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you did your job. You made them feel something.
Yeah.
The worst compliment you can get is if somebody goes, your song, that's nice.
Yeah.
That makes you mediocre.
Yeah.
You are definitely tapping that vein and, making a point here.
I think it's because I get bored easily. And so I think I'm always one step ahead of the listener. Like, I'm already bored. So
you're always packed and ready to go, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm going to Ethiopia tomorrow. So I'll be up in about 5 hours to go to the plane. So yeah, it's a busy life. Planning gigs and recording between trips, basically.
So I'm glad we were able to do this.
Trips.
Good stuff all the way around. Good stuff all the way around.
I'm so glad we were able to do this before I disappear in Africa for a month. So thank you for having me.
Oh, Dave, it really was a pleasure. I'm so grateful for you for staying up and sharing our world premieres, with our audience. I really do appreciate it. Have another shot, go back to bed. You're going to sleep on the plane tomorrow, I hope. Oh, we got some comments here. What do we got? Oh, Billy saying howdy. There are people dropping in and out. I know we have a few seconds left. Where are you guys watching from? Anyone from London still awake?
Well, what a great name, Billy Hill. I mean, that wow.
Right?
Yeah. I might steal that.
Billy, you're going to show up on a video sometime. Yeah. You're in the middle of a song. My friend Billy Hill. So, all right.
Well, I hope everybody watches your show. I know we enjoy it. And thanks for having me.
All right. We are here. Oh, a little housekeeping. We are here every Monday, 7 p.m. I will be on tour next week. I'm heading down south. So there'll be a show for you. But we'll be coming back live in September. So everyone keep watching Monday, 7 New York time. And we hope to see you back on the ranch. I'm on the road. Don't know where it goes.